Hi everyone and welcome. It is Karen here with you today. Today I am sharing with you a page that I have created in my Large Dilutions journal, and I'm starting off with some of the freebies from Creative Warriors or Michelle Grant Designs this month, or they're $1.50 if you prefer to purchase them. They are free with any other purchase. So these images have been created by Annette's mum Peggy a very long time ago, and I'm starting off with the patterned part of the paper, which I have sprayed with some gloss sprays, and you can see me adding some extra gloss sprays onto my page here, and I'm just spreading it around with my paintbrush, trying not to get too much mud happening there. So once I've got that dry, I've got a Prima or a Finnabar stencil and some modelling paste, and I'm just going to put some of my modelling paste through my stencil. And I've got another one here too, which is also a Finnabar, but this one is actually in text, which I thought was pretty cool. So I've got those on there, and once they've dried and my tissue paper is dry where I'd sprayed the back of it with the gloss sprays, I've ripped a few little pieces of it off so I can stick that into my book. So I'm just using some matte medium just to glue it into my book with a little paintbrush there, just making sure that it's all nicely stuck down. So that's looking pretty good. So once that's dry, I'm going to add on my next part, which is actually this other little bit here, because I decided that I needed that. So I'm just going to glue that bit in there now. So the next thing that I'm doing is sprinkling on some of the Lindy's Magicals. So you can hardly see it at the moment until I activate it with some water, which I've only got a tiny little bit on there, so I add some more. And of course, as always, you end up with too much. Anyway, it looks pretty. So I've got a bit of a mess happening here in the gutter of my book, so I'm just going to mop that up with some paper towel. And that's looking a little bit better there. So I'm still adding and sprinkling my Magicals onto my page, and just breaking up some of the powder with a little paintbrush there. You can see me do that there and mop up that big puddle, which wasn't very nice. So there we go. So it's starting to look a bit cooler now with those Magicals in the background. Just adding on some of the gold there as well, but you can hardly see it. I am going to come back with some more gold over the modelling paste later, so I think that'll look really cool too. So now I've got some stamping. That one is a little Paper Artsy stamp, and the next one that I've got here is from AB Studios, which is it's just a row of numbers, which is really cool. The next one that I have is, I don't know, what is it? Let me see. It's a Kaiser Craft little grid stamp. That's what that one was. Sorry, forgot all about it. And the next thing that I come back in with is a script stamp from Paper Artsy, just to help break up that background. So you can see the image there that I've cut out. I just printed her out onto some digital cardstock. Just, it's a nicer card than just normal paper. It's a little bit thicker. It's 200 GSM, but you might prefer to use 100 or less. And I've printed her out onto my laser printer, and I'm also going to put a layer of just clear gesso over the top, because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with her yet. I think I might leave her in black and white, but I don't know. So that's why I put the gesso over her. And I also thought my background was just a bit too bright, so I've just knocked it back a little bit with a whitewash of white gesso. So now I'm going to write my quote over on this other side of the page, and it says, "Nurture your sparkle, find your uniqueness, and know how much you matter." So I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm just going to write that in there. There we go. And I'm going to fatten it up a little bit with my black pen as well, just to help make those black lines of the letters a little bit more solid and a little bit neater, because some of them didn't end up with nice sort of ends on the end of it. So the next thing that I've got here is some Jane Davenport pastels, and I decided just to make her cheeks a little bit rosy, and I'm going to add some colour into her eyes just with some Posca paint pens. There we go, the pupils. I'll come back and do the catch lights in a minute. I'm just going to put some white highlights on my letters just to pop them out just a little bit and make them a bit more interesting. So the little girl here, this could possibly be Annette, since her mum drew it, so who knows. But she does kind of remind me of the little Vegemite girl. So that's, yeah, I think she's really cute, so I love her. So now I've got out my Prima wax, and I'm just lightly adding a bit of the wax over the top of that modelling paste that I did right at the very start, just to help pop it out just a little bit. So you can't quite see that on camera that well, but it does look quite pretty. So next thing, I'm just using a Stabilo oil pencil to go around the little girl here, which I'm going to call Annette, and just to pop her out a little bit from the background, a little bit darker on one side than the other. So there we go. So there's our Annette, the happy little Vegemite girl. So the next thing that I've got here is some gold acrylic ink, and I've just watered it down a little bit and used my fan brush to splatter it around and put a little bit of a black edge around the edges of my page, just with this black stamp pad. And I've also got out a silver acrylic ink, and I'm just going to dot that around the page so it creates a little bit more sparkle. So there's my page of little Vegemite girl Annette. So I really hope you like the page. If you're interested in getting the image, check out Michelle Grant Designs. You can get it for free with any purchase, or you can pay $1.50 for it. And don't forget to enter in our October challenge. We have awesome things happening within the Creative Warrior group, so I hope that you'll come along and join in the fun. So I hope I have inspired you to get creative, and until next time, I will see you later. Bye bye.